Hey, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Scalemodeling Livestream. How is everybody? All good? Geez, a lot of people poured in at the last few seconds there. I just watched in the chat there. So, geez, it's going to be one of those days where I've got to catch up. And by the way, we've got a visitor that'll be joining us in a sec. And if anybody else happens to have a camera out there and want to come on live, the link is in the chat there. So just click on that and you're welcome to join in. All right. So first of all, we will bring in Mr. Captain Charlemagne and see how he is. Here we go. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. What is it? It's evening, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It's 5 in the evening here.
Very good. Very good.
Peter, I think it's morning time where you are.
It is. We're in the future. It's Sunday here. So how was your Saturday? Was it a good Saturday?
It was, well, yes, in the sense that it was nice. The tropical storm is supposed to be making landfall tonight, so it's raining quite a bit outside. Aside from that, just had a crink in the neck, so it's been tough doing anything for the last several days, especially like modeling and anything like that.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's no good. Yeah. I actually get a sharp pain in the back of my shoulder blade. Just this one point, one little spot at the back there. And I know what it is. It's because it's not to do with modeling. It's to do with the angle I'm holding my mouse on the desk here. And the bad chair I used to have. Now that I've got my nice comfy chair and I got support around my back, much better. So, yeah, I don't know what causes your neck problem, but
I think mine was mainly just from sleeping because I was fine the day before, went to bed, then got up the next day, and last 2 days I've been having this problem.
See, that happens to old people like me, not you. It shouldn't happen to you. I wake up and end up with a sore neck as well, and that's just an age thing. At least I think it is.
Well, I might turn 30 this year, but it's on the same side I hurt my shoulder a few years ago, so.
Probably, yeah, okay. Could be related. Anyway, we got Jim down there, so we might as well bring Jim in as well and see how it is just south of Chicago today. Hello, mate. How are you?
Hello, everyone. How you all
doing? Mr. Heisenberg, hey? Heisenberg.
Yes, the bald American.
Gone all nuclear on me.
Hello, Captain. How are you? How's things in Florida?
All right. Wet right now with Tropical Storm Debbie supposedly making land.
Oh, where are you at on the peninsula?
Florida, so Southwest Florida.
Okay, so you're on the Gulf side, but I haven't checked the weather lately, so I wasn't sure. But I'll tell you what, all of that stuff is having a residual effect up here in the upper Midwest. We're getting nothing but waves of heat and humidity since early July.
Well, ain't for like you and everything. It's mainly because of those wildfires over in California.
Yeah, we haven't got any smoke alerts yet, but I'm assuming that'll probably come soon. Last year it was quite significant with the ones up in Nova Scotia, and that had us in a smoke alert for a few weeks, as I remember. If I'm recalling it right, but
yeah, I heard about that on the news too.
Yeah, well, probably nothing like what you dealt with, Peter, in Chiang Mai.
Well, that's a yearly thing here. It's just common occurrence. It's expected. In fact, I don't even plan to be here when it happens next year. I'm going to head south where the islands are and fresh air is.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Good idea. Yeah, because that stuff really does have a detrimental cumulative effect on your health.
Definitely, it has to, especially when you got to put up with it week after week for nearly 2 months and you're breathing it in. Some days worse than others, but you can't be doing your lungs any good, that's for sure. So
yeah, I hear you.
I didn't have a problem with it. I was okay with it. But anyone who has respiratory problems like asthma and that, you wouldn't want to be here at all. It'd be a terrible place for you, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It would be very taxing on even the healthy. I mean, just breathing that stuff in on a regular basis is just not. It's not good for you.
Yeah. So, fortunately for me, my landlady owns quite a few condos around the country, and she owns one or two down on the island of Koh Chang, which I've been to before. It's a beautiful tropical island, and I'm going to try and negotiate to spend 2 months of the year down there. And if I work it out right, it'll be just at the time when my retirement visa over here is up for renewal, where I was going to head south and do that anyway. So if I spend 2 months when the smoke starts here down there on an island, I don't know. Geez, I'll have to bring my modeling stuff down there, won't I? I just thought about that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to do something to keep yourself sane.
Yeah, but I've got to keep the channel going too. I'll have to take the
true.
laptop,
Yeah. By the way, that
right.
tank is coming along very well. I'm really impressed with how well those mini art interior kits go together. Have you noticed any difficulty with having to make extra effort to clean up small parts, or is there a lot of flash to deal with?
Well, I'll tell you soon, because I've just done this last night. I just sat down and took all the tracks off the sprue.
Oh my goodness, yes. Well, the track links that's a kit in itself. There's
200 pieces there. I haven't even started trimming them.
Yeah.
But no. Normally, flashing and the sprues are really nice and clean on mini art. It's not a problem. You need a good quality pair of nippers to take stuff off and leave behind as little as possible to reduce your cleanup. That's the key. But I've also got a whole packet of these little links that go on those tracks.
Yes.
So there's 24 on one sprue there, and I got a whole packet of them. And it's not just the number; it's how small they are.
Like, I had something similar to that with the Dragon kit. I have a couple Sherman kits that Dragon made years ago, and they give you the track links all separate pieces. The tracking pins and the rubber blocks that go in between them. But there's no assembly jig, like I was mentioning to you on Sue's live stream.
That's right.
The fact is that with those small parts, trying to keep everything square, like the two mounting pins that go on either side of the rubber blocks, you got to keep that all 90 degrees and the rubber block at 90 degrees and flat, so it sits level. I don't know about you, but mine were just looking terrible, and I wound up selling them at a swamp meet for like $5. I grabbed all the ones I had, and I said I'm not going to do it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got a couple models that are waiting tracks, and that's just not a practical solution.
This didn't come with that jig. I've never heard of it, but fortunately, my table is glass, so it's a nice flat surface to work on. So that should keep it straight. I'll just take my cutting mat away and work on the glass, a flat glass, and then I've got like a tile I do photo etch on that I can also keep that. And of course, a metal ruler if I need. But
the ruler would come in handy. There's some way you could form a 90 degree, jig of some kind where you could just put you know what I'm saying? Like
that's right.
Like something like this, and then you just put your tracks in the corner so you know that it's all square.
Yeah, I could use my photo etch bender. The flat
the part bender. Yeah.
But anyway, but when you say about how cleaning up parts, the other thing I've got to look at too is that the tank, like most tanks, are going to get weathered, right? So how much do you really need to clean up these tiny little things when you're going to cover it in mud anyway?
Yeah, well, that's the old armor modeler's default. Cover it in mud.
So I'll go along with my knife and just take off rough raised bits that may be on there, but you're not going to see me there with glass file trying to get it perfectly smooth. Forget that on every piece. This will take me a month because I'm going to weather it up, and you're not going to. It's just impossible to see that. So
we got model kit stuffs in the house. Hey, Jason.
Have we? How are you, buddy? I've got to catch up on chat.
Why don't you catch up on chat and I'll shut up.
I will. I'll go through.
I can talk too much.
Where are we? I'm just thinking that Heisenberg, that's from Breaking Bad, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I was thinking of the movie I saw not too long ago with the atomic bomb. That was he Heisenberg or something? Or was he a similar name?
You mean Oppenheimer? You're talking
Oppenheimer.
about you're talking about the
Heisenberg, Oppenheimer, same thing. That's all
well, they
chemical.
did work on the same thing. I mean, Heisenberg was in atomic technology, whereas von Braun was rockets.
It's all about chemical reactions, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we got Jeff is in the house. How are you, Jeff? Welcome, mate. You can jump on camera too if you want, mate. If you're not busy, you're welcome to. The link's up there in the description. It's pinned in the top there. Not in the description, in the chat. James Bowley goes there. Jim's here. We know that. Peter Kwong is there. Hello, welcome, buddy. Going down quickly. Charlie Greach. Hey, buddy. Hey, welcome. Who else we going? I'm shooting down. There's everyone's saying hello to everybody. Let's see. Tron's there. Hello, Tron. He's in the middle of several house projects at the moment. You're always working, Tron. You're always doing something. Stephen Haynes is there in big caps saying g'day to everyone as he does.
Hello, Stephen.
Welcome. Who else got? Skullfishers there. That's good. We got Wayne Saunders is there. We've got quite a few in. That's good. They must have heard you guys were coming. Mr. Golden V is there. Good evening to you. Oh, yeah. How else we going? Crafting Budgie Mama. That's a tongue twister for me. How are you? Welcome.
So the other day on Lindsay's podcast.
I poked in there and said hello. Yeah. Go where it's warmer, Peter. Yes, I tell you, it is. I'll put the temperatures up because it is like 8 degrees Celsius in Sydney today. That is freaking cold. There they are along the bottom there. Not as bad as Antarctica at minus 63. That's taking into account the wind chill factor. So the penguins would be snuggling up on the icebergs today.
Oh, yeah.
How else we got? We're going down mod kit stuff. Jason, how are you, buddy? Welcome. Welcome. Got to say, I got to be. I'm not watching your videos, mate. I'm guilty. I'm guilty as charged. I just time. You know what it's like. Especially, Jace. He has like 4 or 5 models going at a time and keeping the channel going. You just don't have time to watch everybody else's. But I do watch your titles. If it's a tooltip or something, I'll jump in there and check it out. Where else we got here? It's funny, when I was back home in Australia working, I tended to watch more YouTube than I do here not working. Probably because I got a pool that I go to every day here. Anthony Jones is there. Hello, mate. Welcome. Daniel Britton's there. Hello. My brother always builds his models factory fresh. Oh, yeah, he didn't care for weathering. Yeah. A lot of people don't do the weathering. I just think it adds more to the view and the realisticness of what you're looking at. But it's a whole different skill in itself. Weathering, that's for sure. And I think I've caught up. And no, I don't catch all the videos I would like to. See, in other words, he doesn't watch mine either, so that's okay. I understand.
Granted, right. Pretty sure a lot of us, we try to watch everybody's videos every time one of them get put out. That some are inevitably gonna fall through the cracks. I know there's times I'll watch one of your videos and then I completely forget to watch either Models with Beer or Jeff's.
Yeah.
From time.
Yeah, I know. It's hard, isn't it? Yeah. This link, James put in a link there for quick tracks for the M3. Don't tell me that I can go and buy them already made.
Really? I didn't know that the quick tracks were making track links for the style of vehicle you're building, because I've got 2 similar vehicles, one a Grant and one a Sherman, that need track links. and I didn't know that they were doing it. But the last time I saw Quick Tracks was they were doing Panzer IV and Panzer III stuff.
Yeah.
Captain, do you watch, or either of you guys watch that gentleman? He's in Poland. His name, it's not a very catchy name on his channel. Cold Demons PL. He's an armor modeler.
No.
Okay.
When it comes to armor, I don't really follow that one. I'm still trying to. Most of the time, if I'm watching any videos relating to models, it's usually ships. There's the stuff Jason puts out, or things like Star Trek. Those are usually the ones that I'm usually watching a lot of.
Right.
Well, anyway, this man is a very good armor modeler, and he's the one who I first saw these quick tracks for, because they snap together. I mean, there's no time at all. He even had his wife do it, and they put a timer on the phone, assembled a length of tracks in about 15 minutes.
Oh, wow. If his missus can do it, then anyone could.
That was his point.
I mean, if they weren't so small, you could give it to a 3-year-old to do, right? Isn't it? Right. Without, it'd be a choking hazard, of course. You wouldn't do that. Not suggesting.
Yeah, I think I would definitely consider. No, that's okay, son. I'll do
it. Yeah. Apparently, Nigel did a review on them. So there you go. You can probably go back and track that down. But yeah, I'd never heard of them. But that's okay. Look, I got nothing better to do. No, actually, what I am going to do is that even though I'm up to the tracks on the instructions, if I go over the page, I've yet to make. There's a gun that goes on the front that's got to be all put together yet. There's a Harley going by, as you might be able to hear that. That's the second one this morning. There's a lot of bikies in Thailand. Anyway, and of course I've got the turret to build. So rather than skipping videos coming out because I'm sitting here doing tracks, I can keep working on this and do the tracks in the background. So
yeah, I would think so. I don't know if you'd want to have a video of you building tracks. That's kind of
nobody who's going to want to watch them.
That's not something I think is going to really attract. I don't think you get a whole lot of likes for that.
Yeah, I could do it. What happened?
Captain, we got you 2 corners. Oh, there you go. All right.
Sorry about that. I had to quickly leave. I was talking to my mom real quick.
Yeah. So I wouldn't want to have a whole video of like 4 hours of me cleaning up tracks.
I'd have to mute myself.
And that would be in time lapse too.
I would be cussing up a storm on there.
So would I.
Anyway, so so that's it. That's all I have to say. That's why I invited anybody else. And if anybody, Jason there from Model Kit Stuff, you got your camera, if you're not busy, throw it on. You're welcome to join. The link's there in the chat. I'll be saying that throughout the video because, we had quite a few people come in the other week. And
right. We did. Where's Andrew? He's usually here and jumps on.
Yeah. Well, that's true. He might come around. Who knows? Ron's there.
Greetings from Winnipeg.
He's selling his bike.
Looks like you're almost as warm as us. We're in a hot one here today.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's warm up there. He's selling his hot. If anybody out there wants to buy a little Honda scooter, he's got it for sale. $1,500. That's a pretty good deal. It's almost like what I've got here. I've got one that's it's not a Honda, but it's a Yamaha, but it's about the same size, a 125, and good little bike to get around. It really suits me. Although I will admit, I went out on a ride the other day out to these hot springs in the mountains. It was beautiful at the hot springs, but the road going out to the mountains was spectacular, and the views and the windy roads and that. I really missed my Suzuki V-Strom 1000A. And I had these guys going past in bike groups on their adventure bikes, and I'm thinking, here I am on my little scooter going, oh, damn it. So in the future, I will definitely be investing in a nice big adventure touring bike when I'll get out and start touring the country more and even crossing a few borders and investigating.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I was going to say it's good to see Nigel back to making some more. I mean, getting back to his enthusiasm and his level. I understand how it is to lose a pet and how you feel, and nothing really has any impact on you for a while, and then eventually your mojo and your enthusiasm return. And I'm really glad to hear, and I'm also glad to hear he's going to adopt another dog, because I'm a volunteer at a local animal shelter. Yeah, that's his plan.
I didn't know that.
That's his plans. He's looking to get another one like Jess.
Oh, that's good. That's
good.
Yeah,
that really lifts my heart, because I'm a volunteer at an animal shelter, and to know.
Are you? Oh,
yeah.
Look, there's a guy here in Thailand that put a video out that he did a video of a shelter here where they take in street dogs that are injured, broken legs, whatever they've gone through, and they put them in recovery and they keep them. And he started off with just 2 dogs in this shelter, in his house. Now they have about 600 dogs in this shelter.
That's not
massive,
surprising.
And it's even sponsored and supported by Mr. Beast. They donated a vehicle to help one of the guys who goes out and collects these dogs from around the place.
Okay.
So it's fantastic. But if you watched his video, you can't watch it without bringing a tear to your eye. What these people do for these dogs. Yeah. And what they have is they have this twice a day. You can visit the place, but twice a day they have this. It's the dog run. There's another name for it, but all the dogs that have disabilities, they have like wheelchair. It's the wheelchair run. They have wheelchairs especially made up for the dogs. Yeah. Because usually it's their back legs they have problems with. Yeah. And they have them on these wheelchairs, and they let them all out, and they all head off on these wheelchairs. All these dogs running and happy down the laneway. And down the street. It's just amazing, Yeah.
So, well, you can also have, older dogs. They have arthritis, and it gets their hips first. Yeah. And we had a dog that had that, and it didn't get to the point where we had to provide something for him. He was already old, where we wound up having to put him down. But nonetheless, I understand what you mean, and it's so important for dogs to get out. Exercise and socialization really makes them more adoptable. They're not nervous wrecks when people go.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to own pets in the condo I'm in. Otherwise, I would take in a dog. I haven't had a dog since I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, you had the 2 birds that showed up at your place in Australia. Remember them?
Yes. Yeah, the cockatoos. Yeah, yeah. I bet they're still showing up there too for whoever the new tenant is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Food.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's great. Yeah.
Aren't so bad. Although, they get pain in the butt.
What's that, Captain? Pardon me?
I said dogs are good animals, but they're also a pain in the butt.
Well, it all depends on what kind of breed you get, what works for you,
what the temperament is too.
Yeah, temperament, and also are you prepared? Even though you may have a lot of good intentions.
Yeah.
So, like, what I mean is, like, we have 2 dogs. A German Shepherd. He's this gold, but the other one we have is a blue nose. I forget what it is. Blue nose terrier, something like that. Like the one that dog trainers really hate to deal with because they're so headstrong.
It is hyperactive.
He drives me up the wall.
Well, shepherds have their own temperament too, depending on the particular breed of shepherd, which I didn't realize is quite so many. Huskies are also like that too. Huskies are very independent dogs. They're almost like cats in a way.
But
Hey,
but they're very intelligent, and they are very good partners to have once you establish a relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Ron's given away his motor scooter to his daughter, so it's gone to a good home. That's good. Hopefully that should get well used. Yeah. That's good.
Hello, Paul. Paul Price is in.
Paul's in. Yes. Good morning to you, Paul. Yes. He'd be nice and rugged up there in his little man cave, working away at.
He is one of the most industrious modelers I have ever met. That guy has no stop button on his model.
That's right. That's right. There's a few like that, isn't there? That just keep on going. Like,
yeah. A friend of mine's like that. A very close friend of mine. He's always sending me photos of what he's working on, and then 2 days later, done. It's like, oh, okay, But
well,
God bless him. It inspires me to keep working.
Yeah, I guess if you don't make videos, it's a lot easier because making videos, if you've got a YouTube channel, doubles the work involved in doing a model.
Yes.
At least doubles. I mean, look at Jason, for example. How many years you been doing that Queen Mary 2, mate? Hey, we started at the same time. I'll never forget that. Hey,
well, now that he's sold
I'll
out
keep
more
up
paint,
with you.
maybe I'll
No
have more
problem.
time to do it.
Oh, yeah. No, but the detail in it. I mean, I'm surprised Stephen Payne doesn't take that model and have a case displayed up on the ship itself. That's where it belongs, because the work that's gone into that and the detail is just incredible. So who knows, hey?
But you're not.
And get a free cruise on it when you deliver it there too. A quick jaunt to New York would be nice, wouldn't it, with the family?
Excuse me.
Hey?
Speaking of finished stuff, I'll be right back. I'll just show something I just recently completed.
Okay. Hobby Time's there. I think I said hello, mate. Welcome. Who else we got on? I said hello to Paul. Good on you. Haven't got Bilge in yet. What's Bilge doing this morning? Don't tell me he wouldn't be sleeping this late. He's probably working on something. It's done, he says. Oh, there you go. See? It's done, apparently.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Right. And you're hoping to be on the Queen Mary 2 this month. Oh, fantastic.
Oh, that's right. He's I think one of his most recent videos, Jason mentioned he's got a holiday he's planning with his. I think it's.
Right. Oh, that'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? Eh? Fantastic. There you go. See, there's proof I haven't been watching, mate. Sorry. Anyway, give you a shout out. Model Kit Stuff, eh? The number 2 channel for modeling on YouTube behind me.
So, Captain, what do you got going? What's on your workbench?
Well, I just finished the 3D printed 1 in 350 USS Constellation. In fact, she's actually right here, right next to me. It's just she's so big I can't actually get her all on camera. Hold on a second.
Sure. Let's see it. Yeah, Constellation was one of the Forstall class carriers, right?
Kitty Hawk, but no.
Kitty Hawk. Okay.
So this, hold on. Got to turn my camera around because it's not. Hold on a second. Let's see.
I just got to say, Jason, it'd be like walking around the inside of your model. I bet you've never done that before.
Yeah. Hey, good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the.
Make sure you got all those deck chairs the right color.
I don't know how to do it with this with the phone camera, but since I'm using. But so no, it's on the your Facebook group thing. Peter, but no. So the Kitty Hawk that I'm thinking about is the Constellation is the Kitty Hawk class, but this is one of the original Lexington was supposed to be one of the 6 Lexington class battle cruisers that was made up by the U.S. Navy after World War I.
Really?
She was going to be the second ship in the class, thus why she's called CC2. Lexington and Saratoga, which was supposed to be CC3, would be converted into the aircraft carriers that everybody knows of in the war.
Right.
This model is based off the video game World of Warships, where they and made a very hypothetical variant of her had she been built and modernized for the Second World War.
No, okay.
Tron's off. See you, Tron.
Yeah.
Good one.
Tron. Yeah.
So
that's cool.
So I got that finished. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to make the video for Invincible, simply on the grounds of there's so much flash over those resin pieces for the Iron Shipwright's Invincible that it's not funny. Belfast is next episode's coming up, and I just started a 1 in 1400 USS Enterprise C kit, which I had originally wanted to light, but I only have enough LEDs left at the moment to light.
I'll be right back, guys. Excuse me.
And that's going to be the 1 in 537 Enterprise B kit that I have coming in. Which is funny how I found that, because I was watching another YouTuber who does a lot of Star Trek stuff. His name's Canadian Starships, and he pointed out Marshall's models. So it's almost like a garage kit. It's made of fiberglass, and there's resin parts to it. And I went to his site, because he actually has a site, looking for the 1 in 537 scale Excelsior, and the man also makes a 1 in 350 scale. So if you look at the Enterprise A or the original Enterprise in 1 in 350, you're looking at something even bigger than that with the Excelsior. And I saw the Enterprise B, and I just had to have it because Excelsior class is one of my favorites. So
Okay.
those are all what's
Excellent.
planning.
Yeah. I got to say, I love that spiral staircase going up to the loft behind you there. That looks cool.
Yeah,
Isn't that great?
That's my brother's room.
That's
Very
great
stylish.
use of space, isn't it? Just have the high ceilings there, and you can put in a loft like that. That's great.
Yeah.
Very
You can
cool.
build upward instead of outward, and you can
No,
maximize.
it's giving me ideas because I'm playing this computer game. It's one of those survival open world games, and you can build your base and build a house in it. And there's these stairways that come in all different types, and one of them is like that, a spiral. There's also a circular one that goes up, and it's a good way to save space on everything else, you know. So
Sure. Yeah.
so I'm thinking, I'm going to put one of those in my virtual house online.
Yeah. Well, here it is. Let me just show this real fast, and we'll.
All right, let me put you up on the bigger screen.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
We can. Where are we? There we go.
Okay.
Cool.
This here is the my finished. It's an older Hasegawa kit from probably the 90s, maybe the 80s. It's a Maki C202 Folgori.
I think you left a bit of tape on the fuselage there.
I'm sorry?
You left a bit of white masking tape on the fuselage there.
Yes. That's first Italian plane I built. It's 40A scale, and it's got a unique story behind it. I got the particular aircraft I modeled this after out of an Osprey book about Italian aircraft in North Africa, and let me get it back again. If you notice, you can leave it right there, Peter. That's okay.
Yeah, you can still see.
You notice the starboard wing has got the smoke, the prototypical Italian smoke ring pattern of camouflage.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the aircraft has this kind of spiral camouflage on it. This kind of spider web stuff. What happened is that this aircraft had the starboard wing. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. It had the starboard wing replaced with that of another Folgori.
Right.
While it was serving in North Africa in like September 1942. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just asking about that camouflage design on there. I'm not with aircraft, but why have a camo that looks like it belongs on a tank or ground vehicle?
Well, if you look at Italian aircraft from World War II, you're going to see an amazing variety of very dazzling and very, from a modeler's perspective, very attractive and challenging camouflage finishes.
But you don't want that on a plane, do you? I mean, you're trying to stay hidden in the sky, aren't you?
Yeah.
And not be a target. Why make yourself...
Well, you got to remember the territory they were flying over, Peter. You know, it was mostly desert, but it was also desert with scrub vegetation.
So low flying.
On land over it. So, a variety of camouflage patterns and schemes that they put on there that worked. And I guess so. I mean, I've not researched the efficacy of it, but like I said, from a modeler's perspective, it's the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
And Jason's got it right. Point. Not to be a target one on the ground too. You're also
you have to cover the things in those nets.
Because I mean, North Africa was like being on a billiard table. It was all flat and open. I mean, the most you could do is maybe dig revetments around them.
Then in that case, you could just paint the aircraft like a sandpaper texture, couldn't you?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, sometimes both sides use camo nets too on aircraft too. Sometimes to hide them, as well as gun positions and everything. I mean, camouflage isn't like to disappear. It's to break up appearance, break up a silhouette. Like that tank you're building. That thing was 15 feet high. 15 feet from ground to top of the turret. In the North
Yeah.
African desert, even in where they fought in Algeria and Tunisia, which is
Yeah.
different ground than Libya and Egypt, you were still
Yeah.
a target miles away.
Yeah,
Away.
but they're still the same as looking down on any tank from an aircraft.
Well, I understand that, but I'm also talking about ground observation too.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
because when a tank would move, it would bring up a cloud of dust, and that was time to get out the artillery and start firing at targets because they were making themselves known. But anyhow, it was. If you look at Italian aircraft from World War II, you're going to see an array of dazzling camouflage that as a modeler, I want to take on the challenge of airbrushing, because some of them are just like, wow, totally blows me away. And they're very, very pretty from an aesthetic point of view.
So on the actual aircraft, did they use a paintbrush or did they airbrush them?
For most of those, I believe they were sprayed.
It was sprayed.
Yes. Now, I'm not sure whether they were done in the field or in the factory. Like I said, my research on the Regia Aeronautica is not a whole lot. But there are books out there, and there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, like the book I got this out of, I don't know if either of you guys read Osprey Publications, but their books are incredibly spot on and very specific, very niche, and you could learn a lot about a lot of different subjects through Osprey books. I've got them on everything, on naval warfare, on armor, on aircraft, on infantry weapons, on tactics, anything. You want to learn about infantry tactics in Napoleonic Wars? You can find an Osprey publication that'll cover it.
Right.
Was it when you were talking about I think you said it was that one that you're modeling it after, about how it had to get a whole new wing. It made me think about during the Battle of Leyte Gulf with I think it was with Taffy 3, 1, and 2, where one of the planes left one of the carriers. I think it was one of the Wildcats that had been modified for the smaller escort carriers, landed on an island. The team was made get out of the plane, help repel Japanese troops, went into the forest, came back with a whole new wing for his plane. I think it was a Japanese one, stuck it onto his plane, then took off back towards the carriers.
Yeah. You see that in the 8th Air Force, too. A lot of B-17s and B-24s have replacement wings and different parts. I mean, they cannibalize these things. I mean, the aircraft that made it back from missions that were so badly damaged, they wrote them off. They cannibalized them. They stripped them for whatever parts they could use on other airplanes. And so you would see B-17s and B-24s with a totally different wing or a tail or, anything, a green on one part, silver, and,
as long as they could fly.
Something makes sense. You seeing from Richthofen's Traveling Circus from World War One, because World War One, that was something that was quite common to see, the whole bunch of different colors because of the help, because friendly fire happened a lot back then.
Exactly. That's why the British had those split color undersides on their aircraft early in World War II. The black on the port wing with the sky or the aluminum on the rest of the aircraft. It was for air recognition, so they wouldn't get shot at by their own anti-aircraft forces. So a lot of that stuff was, like you said, Charlemagne, they were meant to alert the ground crews, like, hey, I'm up here, don't shoot at me. Particularly the Germans in World War I, they had some really colorful airplanes, very colorful.
Yeah. Fascinating stuff. All right. Good. It's very quiet in the chat. Hey, no one's talking very much, are they? They're watching. They're just listening, but no one's talking.
So, Peter, let me ask you: when you tried that Friday show, did you post it in notifications?
Yeah. 2 days.
I must have missed it completely then, because it was odd. But the only thing I had showing from you from that weekend was dated the Saturday after that.
Yeah,
very weird, very odd. That's why I sent you a message in one of your after one of your chats, and I was telling you that it didn't even show up on my notifications that you were on the air.
Well, it might have happened to some other people. Might have happened to a few others too, because it just not many came in.
Because that time actually works for me. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it would also work for people in the UK. And, you wouldn't have to be getting, 8 o'clock at night's a lot better than 4 a.m.
Yeah, it is. It is, yeah. But, well, that's okay. That's okay. Like, I have nothing better to do on a Saturday night.
Well, you can always reconsider it and try it again another time.
I could. Yeah. Yeah. But, it's okay. So, yeah.
Are you going live later on with your Discover Thailand?
Yes, I will be. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
because I'm not.
It won't be a walk around one. It'll be just from in here.
Okay.
We've had rain continuous all week.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize it. I found out that August is the wettest month of the year, apparently for here. And when I heard of the rainy season, which we're in, I thought it was just you get your storms once a day for an hour and a half, and then they go away, which is what's been happening every afternoon. Big storms come through and then it clears up. But no, we get rain, and it's been just constant all day, every day. There was a bit of a break yesterday. It didn't rain too much. It's raining out there now. I can hear the cars on the wet road. But yeah, and it's stopped me going out pretty much. It's not something I want to hop on the motor scooter and ride on a wet roads.
No,
in the crazy traffic as it is, just adds more risk to the already risky stuff.
Well, you wear glasses when you ride, I assume, right?
Oh, no, this is only for reading. So
okay, all right. Well, I do, and if I'm ever caught in the rain on my bicycle, it's not a pleasant experience.
No. Yeah. So I've had to deal with not being able to get out, and I haven't had to buy an umbrella yet because every shop and everything I need's out front along this street. It's okay, but I will need to buy an umbrella at some stage for this month.
Look what Mr. Golden put down. Hey, Peter, put up Mr. Golden.
In Scotland, every month is a rain. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I believe that. But I think, I'll be doing it from inside. I just didn't want to risk scheduling one and make it outside. Like last week, I did one from the hot springs that I went and visited. That was fine. But I didn't want to get caught anywhere. So we'll just do one here. A few hot topics to talk about too, which will be interesting, and see if I can rile people up.
Okay. Well, that's what it's about. It's about audience participation and people
they
can do.
They got new visa. They got new visa options over here now. They've just brought in.
Terrible. That was
make it easier. Make it easier for people to come and stay in Thailand for longer periods of time. They call them digital nomads over here, which is basically YouTubers as well. If you work online for a company overseas, you can buy a 5-year visa here, which is quite cheap. It's about a couple of $100 for 5 years, and you can stay here for 5 years. And all you do is work online, and that includes doing YouTube. So
in Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland's saying 9 months is windy, the other 3 months are terrible. That was written on a castle wall. Well, there you go. Was that written in the dungeon?
The funny thing is, I was just watching some things of events that had recently happened in the UK, and one of them was the We Have Ways Fest, which happens. I'm not sure where it is. I think it's on the East Coast. And a lot of these events I look at and I see pretty nice weather behind everywhere. When the cameraman's walking around panning the event grounds, I see sunny skies and a few clouds, and I'm not saying to those folks in the UK, I'm not saying you don't have weather that is rain and fog and rain and fog and rain and fog. I'm just saying that a lot of times when people are filming things, maybe it's in certain areas of the UK get better weather a little bit more often than others.
Or they got
but I see that a lot where it's like, wow, that's a beautiful weather. I mean, that's a beautiful day for an event,
If you're skilled at video editing, you could do that. No problem.
You mean the Photoshop and a sunny sky behind them?
Yeah, you take away the rain and the clouds, and No, not a problem.
Well,
The
yeah,
AI,
with
the
AI,
AI will do it.
nowadays.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Holy cow, 25 degrees in Scotland this week, eh? Jesus,
That's
what are you going to do in that heat?
Pretty warm for them.
Cornwall has the best
Cornwall,
weather as a
yes.
rule. Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Jason, let me ask you, Jason, you can respond if you want, but Cornwall, is that where Paynton is? Because that's like a popular, at least I remember it to be like a popular holiday area for people in the UK, because it was one of the areas that had decent weather in the summer. Paynton was the area I remember, and I remember that from a Monty Python episode. So that's over 50 years ago.
Yeah, it's the westernmost part of the Southwest Peninsula. So Google tells me it's a coastline with steep cliffs.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree, Jason. You don't get the extreme, like right now. It's like 95 degrees real feel outside my place right now.
Oh, look, there's something
real
there
scorcher today, and like I said, we've had a really bad repeat pattern of heat, humidity for weeks on end.
Apparently, they have sandy beaches. I can't believe that. I thought England had, or all the UK just had gravel and pebbles on the beach. I didn't think they had sand over there. Sandy beaches in Cornwall. Wow.
Currently 4 degrees in
4 degrees.
Woo!
Wow.
Hey.
That means it must be snowing or snow on the roads up where I used to do deliveries out around out west. Yeah. That would have been a cold. Oh, no, it's the weekend. I don't work weekends. So, yeah. Oh, no, I don't miss that. I don't miss that. Although, I will tell you, I woke up at about midnight. So, it's only a few hours ago.
Right.
Because I leave my window wide open. There's a screen in it. And a wind must have picked up outside. And a cool breeze came through. Like a cool breeze came through the window. You know how rare that is here in Thailand? A cool breeze. It must have been about 22 degrees. And I'm like, wow, did I leave the fan on above me bed? No, it was turned off. I thought, wow, geez.
The freezing usually is what? Hot, humid air hitting you in the face?
I had to pull the sheet up over myself, like it was that cool. Jeff Donahue's down there and it's 35 degrees Celsius. We're in the US there.
Yeah, he's in he's in Colorado, which is
Colorado,
due west of me, just a little south and mostly due west. You ever you've traveled a lot, Peter? Did you ever did you ever get to what parts of the United States
did you say west of Maine? He's not that far.
No, west of me.
Oh, right. I was going to say west of Maine.
It's
That's
way
Canada.
West. Yeah, Maine's way up there in the Northeast. Yeah, it's way west of there. Yeah,
those central states I've never been through, so I don't know where Texas. I can't picture where Texas and Montana and all those are. I've been up around from New York up to Rhode Island and Newport and Maine.
So you were on the eastern seaboard,
and then I crossed to Canada, and then I came down through Michigan, across. Illinois, Michigan, Pennsylvania, came back in towards New York that way. And I've been to San Francisco on the other side. That's it for me.
Okay.
So I'm not sure where Colorado is. I'm guessing it's around Montana.
It's in the western part of the United States.
Where is it in relation to Texas?
Northwest of Texas. It's north and west of Texas.
Okay.
It's part of the Four Corners. What are those four corners again? I think it's New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, and oh my God, I can't remember what the other one is. Oh, I'm trying to remember. I think it's Nevada. Can't recall.
Right.
But there's a spot there where you can literally do a circle in a car, and you go through 4 states. You go through 4 states because it's called the Four Corners, is what it is.
I got it. It's like we have the Golden Triangle.
Utah. Thank you, Jeff. It's Utah. It's Colorado, New Mexico,
Utah,
Arizona, and Utah. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
There we go. Yeah. We have the Golden Triangle up here,
that is what?
Well, that's the border between Thailand, Laos, and Burma.
Ah,
The Golden Triangle is famous for its poppy fields.
Oh,
So,
really? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
That
and
kind
all
of
the
poppy.
cultivation going on up there for
Yeah.
in the Golden Triangle, the poppy fields, which is still going on today.
Well, is that where the opium wars from the
That's right.
18th century centered on, or
And
was it
still
another-
is.
It
Yeah,
still is. Yeah.
still is. It's still full on opium throughout Southeast Asia. All comes from that area, and China's involved as well. But then China's got their finger in everything. So, yeah, and then. Yeah, so there we go. A bit of geography lesson there. We got Plastic Monkey Paul's there. Hello, mate. Welcome.
Yeah. Hey, Plastic.
Welcome, mate. Welcome.
Well, it's getting a bit late in the UK. It's going on 11 o'clock there.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll be just having a quick hello and then hitting the sack, as we say. That's good. I hope Sue's well. I'm missing your live streams. I really do. It's a shame. But anyway,
Well, they're on. The Sunday is on at 1:30 p.m. my time. That's 1:30 a.m. your time. So that's
right.
That's really late. That's 1:30 a.m. Monday morning for you.
That's right. Crazy. Yeah, I can't do that. But that's okay. Maybe I should just become a night shift and just do everything at night and sleep during the day. But
you mean like Martin Kovac?
Is that right?
Well,
right?
That's his name. His name is Night Shift. That's the name of his channel.
Oh yeah. Well, I used to work night shift and I used to have to do that. That's why I'm still no problem getting up this time in the morning. Doing in the security industry I was in. Yeah, plenty of night shifts. And sleeping during the day, I have no problem, especially if I'm on a deck chair by the pool. So I could do that too. So,
I did it for 5 years. It was not fun. You can never get used to it.
I did it for about nearly 10 years, and I got used to it, but then I had no social life to interfere with it. So, my company took advantage of me for that, because then I became on call 24/7. So that got really hard for quite a few years there, where literally you get a phone call at 1 a.m. to be somewhere in the next hour and a half,
Whoa. Holy cow.
That would happen. And that would happen 5 days a week, any particular day of the week. You don't know. Client could be flying in on a jet. You need to go and meet the jet. Someone might need a pickup from somewhere to their hotel or their house. Whatever, some shop might have got robbed and the windows broken. They need a guard to sit there till it gets repaired.
Right.
Endless.
Holy cow. You look at what Jeff said. Do you see what Jeff did? 35 years you work graveyard?
Yeah, he did too. Yeah,
wow.
That's why.
Well, that's the only way you'd ever get used to it is long term.
Yeah.
Either commit to it or you don't do it, I guess. But going back and forth must be hell.
Jason used to work nights 1 day a week. That messed me up. Yeah.
Well, a friend of mine.
But Jason's like me. See, he's a butcher by trade, so he would know what it's like to get up early in the morning and do long hours. I had to, when I was an apprentice butcher, I had to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning then to walk half a couple of kilometers to a bus stop. This is before I had a car, and hop on 2 buses and then walk another 2 kilometers to the butcher shop where I worked. Open the shop there. My boss would mosey in whenever he felt like it. It was just me and the boss in this little 2-man butcher shop. I worked there my whole 4 years of my apprenticeship. Never had a day off sick, because I was threatened by my boss would go off at me. However sick I was, I'd had to come in. And then I would leave at 5 p.m. when we shut the shop and wouldn't be home till 8 o'clock at night. Jeez. Public transport all the way back.
Well, you're talking about being around raw meat. I would think someone with a cold, they wouldn't want them around food that could be.
I know, it's okay. Once you cook it properly, it kills all those germs.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, it is. All right.
Also, I guess.
Pardon me, Captain. What'd you say?
I said probably also a different time. People looked at it differently.
Right. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Didn't know any better.
Right.
That's for sure.
Well, it was
You know?
like, you can't call in sick with a cold. Come on.
Oh, look, I got punched in the face, right, and ended up with a fractured jaw and a broken nose, right? I was in hospital, and my boss, when I rang him to tell him, he says, "Will you be in tomorrow?" Like, I was in hospital for a week, with surgeries. Like, seriously? Yeah. At that time, I had to take time off. But
I understand in a way that kind of thought process, because like a couple years ago, even now, whenever I do get sick, I get sick real bad. I'll be out of commission for like a week, and then my grandma will be like, everyone calls in sick all the time. Whenever I got sick, I'd always go into work and all this other stuff. But she was also one of those that's worked her whole life.
Yeah.
From when
Well, I mean, I think everyone does a fair share of it.
Yeah, you do learn from it, though, because from that experience as an apprentice, all through my working life, I was the most reliable employee a company could ever have, because I just didn't take sickies, and I felt guilty if I ever did, so I never did. And if there's one thing you want with an employee, you want them to be at work on time every day and show up, and that's one key reason why you keep a job so long is because you're there every day. And in security, you need to be reliable too. You can't just.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Sue's in the house. She's here. Ice
Who we got? We got Jet Scale Models is going to come on live with the camera, so we'll bring that in. Here we go.
I think the only.
Hey there, how are you, mate? Are you there? Hello. You're going to have to turn your volume down on your replay of the live stream. So
what's that?
There he is. You've got the plane. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, that's better. That's good. Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah, I'm just working on my mini art Puma here.
Oh, you did? You bought the full interior kit?
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that, nice and dirty in there.
Yeah. I mean, some of this stuff you won't even see once the engine's in, but
I know. Yeah.
You know what I like about that kit, James, is that it's got the panels open on the side, the fenders, so you can have a little bit more than just the engine compartment, and the hatches on the interior open up. So that's why I'm leaning toward buying that model.
Well, I saw somebody else do a review about. He did a comparison between the RFM and this mini art one, and for example, the RFM one doesn't have like ammo boxes. Okay. I don't think it has radio system.
Right.
I think some of this stuff, like these, I think these must be for the steering or something like that. They don't have those.
Oh, they didn't need all that stuff. They're just trying to make room. Just throw them out.
I mean, like, I think the thing is he was also saying that the RFM one was better because the price was cheaper than this one. But that's not a fair comparison, I don't feel, because this one actually has more parts. Also, like,
hey, Sue.
what you were saying there about the side panels being able to open up, the RFM one doesn't have that.
Right.
Apparently.
Right. Yeah, I built I have the Dragon kit.
Yeah, I got that one
last
too.
year, and it's a good model. But it's pretty. It doesn't have the advanced features of what Mini Art offers. What RFM does offer, I am very impressed with their molding and their sharpness of detail. That is they do get a lot of good stuff, a lot of it right in there. Not that Mini Art doesn't. I'm just saying that RFM's kit makes a good argument.
Yeah, like I'm not particularly partial to either company. It's just. Whichever one you want to try.
Right. Well, how you've got that Stewart? Did you finish that?
What's that?
Did you finish the Stewart, the M3 you were doing, the full interior kit?
Yeah. This is what I was working on today.
Oh, that looks
Right.
nice.
Oh yeah, wow. Very nice.
But you know, like what it is it was at this point before. And then I went to go put the stencil decals on. Like they got a whole whack of them, right? And you know, I don't do a lot of natural metal finishes, right? So I was experimenting, and when I put the stencil decals on, I ended up being able to see the carrier film, right? So basically, I stripped it all off, and I repainted it. These are all new decals. Like I bought another kit, basically, so I could get the decals again. And yeah, so now I just finished maybe half an hour ago. I finished putting on all these decals, and I think it came out better this time. The orange is a little different because I think I used a Tamiya orange, but maybe this one's more accurate. The other one was a little bit more hot. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So, and the other thing about this natural metal finish thing is like, you know, like when I do like a tank and I want to do, or any other kind of airplane where it's just like a camouflage but natural metal finish, you can't do a clear coat to seal it. So then you could come back onto it with different like oil washes and whatnot for aging and for panel lining. So, because like if you do a clear coat on natural metal finish, it changes the feeling of the metal color, right? Like I've got
Totally agree. Yep.
I've got different metal colors on here. Like I've got some hot ones. I've got like one that's almost like a chrome. I've got white aluminum. And these are all different brands. Like some are from Tamiya, some is from Mr. Color, some is from AK, you know, they're metal colors.
Yeah.
And the thing is like I'm at a point now where I'm going, okay, so maybe I'll keep this one clean because because like if I go to clear coat it, so then I can come back with panel lines and stuff, it's going to mess up it'll reactivate the metallic colors. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to do some experiments because like with this mini art kit, you get extra top parts of the wings. Like if you want to have the machine gun bullet showing you have one set of wings, and then if you don't, you have another top part. So I primed out those, and I'm going to use different metals, and then I'm going to use different makes of the metal colors, and then I'm going to clear coat some of it. I'm not going to clear coat some of it. And then what I'll do is I'll do some washes and whatnot and see what my opportunities are without effing it up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
well, you know, back to your point about clearing over natural metal, I understand what you mean. Years ago, I mean, we're talking way back. A friend of mine built a very nice F-104 Starfighter, and he did it in. Do you remember Liquiplate enamel paints? They were buffable. You could paint them on, and then you could literally rub them to a fine mirror-like finish if you chose to. Anyway, long story boring. Put a clear coat on there after this beautiful finish, and it just ruined it. So I understand what you're saying about that. Yeah, it is not worth the risk.
Yeah, you need to test it first. That's a good idea. Hopefully it'll work out, because it'd be a shame not to be able to do some weathering.
Well, one way or another. Like maybe I'll keep this one really nice, and then because I bought the kit again, maybe
well, yeah, that's a good idea.
Versions in there, I'll do some crazy weathering on it. This is the Stewart.
There it is. Wow.
Which is pretty much done, but you know, I gotta do some dust aging on it and taking a look at what needs to get some work done to it before. Maybe I'll make a little base for it, you know, with some kind of scenery. I've got a figure too. Where did he go? Where did that guy go?
Cool.
Huh. Oh well. Sorry, I joined you guys late. What were you all talking about before?
Just girls and just boring stuff.
Oh yeah.
Life in Thailand, life in the States, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. Showing a bit of model work.
We need to be put back on track to the modeling. You're doing a good job. So
yeah.
Well, like this thing here, I kind of left it so that I can like basically remove some of the panels on the
Yes.
top.
Yes. Great idea. Yeah.
Like I got some magnet right there. I got a magnet there, and then I put some magnets on the top here, so that when I go to put this on, it'll just basically snap right
great.
into
That's a
place.
great idea. Very, very
And then,
resourceful.
And then the fit here is good enough that you can just do it straight out of the kit, where it'll just slap back down.
Let me ask you a question. Peter says he likes very much the M3, that he's doing the full interior kit. What's your opinion after building that M3 you have, that Stewart, as far as the full interior kit and the fit of everything? Are you impressed with how many art engineers their models?
Well, I still have a Chubby. How's that?
I'm sorry?
I still have a Chubby.
Got to help me out with that one. That's like a pass from a quarterback way over my head.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say it's very good.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah, now I get it. Now I get it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. We're talking about wood. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I've left these like unglued as well. They have a very nice friction fit.
Oh, the engine doors?
Sorry?
The access doors to the engine?
Yeah, those are not glued.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah.
So if I ever want to show that. And this I was thinking of doing, like where I could lift it off. I actually installed magnets and all that. But then it comes to things like where these fender parts are, and the wiring for the headlights and stuff like that. It just wouldn't be possible to really. Right. So I decided that one I won't open. So
that's very nice. Very nice. When it came to assembling the track links, how did that go? Did you find them easy to put together? I mean, from what Peter has, it's a lot of parts.
Well, this is a link and length technique.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. And I had a bit of issues here and there, but nothing, because it's not a single link track, you're kind of like locked into how everything is going to end up fitting.
Right.
And so basically, you'll see in the videos, I've got like a whole series of it on my YouTube channel. And I had to do a few things like around the idler wheel. I had some little clamps just to hold it down.
Right.
And
that's nothing new for that. But I didn't know they were doing link and length. I prefer that instead of the individual links. That's a nightmare.
Well, I kind of like both. I mean, as far as the plastic single link, I don't like those so much. I mean, metallic, like the
Frul. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm making a set for the Tiger, that same Dragon Tiger one you've got, the initial product. I'm doing the same thing, and I bought the mirror track links, and I'm working on drilling those out, and I know those are going to work.
This is the original Dragon T34. I kind of built it up because I did a box cover for Dragon back in the day.
Really?
So, yeah, I got one of these so that I could take photos and have it sort of like mocked up.
Right.
But yeah, so it's I kind of like its philosophy when it comes to the underside here, where you have this channel here.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Dragon one is like a one piece kind of.
Yes,
deal.
it is. Yeah.
And so this one here is the old style where it's sort of like just like plant panels that you have to carefully glue together so that you don't get the wrong angles and all that.
Right.
Yeah, you can mess up a lot if they're not exactly spot on, eh?
Yeah.
Does
the suspension work on the Dragon Puma?
You mean as far as turning and stuff?
Yeah.
No, that was the other complaint that the guy made about when he reviewed the RFM one. Apparently has steerable wheels or something.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
This one doesn't, but I'm going to see if, we're modelers, right? So should be able to figure out a way where I can like do a little scratch building and cutting and, stuff. Sure. And if I want to have it in a position where the wheels are turning, I'm pretty sure I can do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. Cause I would love to do a replication of the box art on that full interior kit. That crazy winter camo pattern with the stripes, That is
Right.
just so nuts. I love it.
Yeah, I'm not so intrigued by that one. I still don't know what I want to do, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, that one grabs me the most. In fact, that's why I build a lot of German armor. It's because of the wide array of camouflage.
Oh yeah. Well, I also went and bought this kit. This was from Bronco. This is like a 37 millimeter field gun. Because I wanted, I don't know,
Okay.
when I get into a project, I start getting into origins and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So I wanted to see what the field gun was, because I'm pretty sure that this is the same gun that's in the tank, right? So,
Oh, you mean the Stuart?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's an American piece. It's 37 mil. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was their standard anti-tank gun until they went to war, and then they realized it's a pea shooter.
Yeah, the wheels with the mini art kit to jump around even more now is, they come in like 1, 2, 3,
Right.
4, 5
I've seen
pieces,
that.
right?
Yeah.
So that's a bit challenging. When I love mini art, and I love, like, Dragon actually came up with this technique before, where it's like slices as opposed to just
I've got my Dragon
yeah.
Puma offers those the two ways of making the tires: the standard way or the multi-layered way. And I chose the standard way.
Well, the thing is like with the multi-piece, you get a more accurate tread, is what I've heard, because when you have the two pieces together, I think you're more prone to sanding off the tread and stuff like that, and also maybe you can't get as intricate. This is another. They give you one other spare tire,
right?
Whether you want to use this one and that one.
Yeah.
And this one is called Deca. I don't really know anything about it.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that in Peter Axley's review of the kit Deca. You're right. I thought it would be Continental, but it's Deca. Yeah, I never heard of them.
No, me neither. So that's new information.
Yeah. Well, to counter your as far as the two-piece tires, what you could also do is seeing they were tires, by sanding them down, you could create uneven tire wear, and that would lend itself to a little bit of realism in terms of how they would look on the vehicle, instead of conventional where they're all the same tread pattern and the same depth.
Yeah, or if they put rubber tires in.
Well, what I'm saying is that, funny thing is, I don't know about you, James, but I found trying to find research material on the Puma kind of difficult. They only made 100 of those things.
Hey, guys.
We're seeing it here. Put that last comment up, Peter, from Jason's Model Kit stuff.
Yeah, Polish brand.
We're a Polish brand. Okay. All right. Well, you learn something new every day.
Hey, guys, I'm going to have to take off. I got some stuff to do real quick before bringing again. I'll catch you all later.
Yeah, mate.
Okay, Captain. Take care.
Have a good one. Cheers.
Guys.
Yeah, I've got these two books here. Got the Panzer Tracks number 13, but it doesn't really go into too much detail. It's got a little bit of stuff, like it goes right back to the early like very first sort of SDKFZs, and then it gets into 221 and 222, 231, and then it starts getting into the 234s.
Yeah.
And each one of them, it has some basic information and statistics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I have this book here, which is, it's sort of the same thing. It actually came with a set of decals.
Oh,
so I could do something different than what comes in the kit.
Wow, that's nice.
Then they got pictures of the one that's in Munster. I've got pictures of the ones in Munster. I've been to that museum a few times. But
really? I'd like to go there. Yeah, and I think there's one in the Tank Museum in Bovington.
I'm not sure. Perhaps.
Oh no! You know what? I think that's one of the other variants.
Yeah. But yeah, like what I'm working on now is like this thing has got like here. This is a picture I took in Munster, and I printed it out so that I can see the detail of all the fuel injection, right?
Yeah.
And so what I've done is I've used my microscope, and I've gone in here, and I've drilled out these holes here so that I can stick wire in there because like I find that if you try and glue things just butt joint them, it doesn't work, right? It's just a pain in the ass. So I'm gonna, and also one thing I notice on here is that there's a bit of a discrepancy whether this is like, because this is a museum piece, the top of the injection fuel is coming from the top, but Mini Art has it coming from the side here. So I don't know if this one's more accurate or if this one's more accurate.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, museum pieces sometimes they put together what they can to get a vehicle or an exhibit.
Yeah, and then in here I've gone in and drilled out holes here because there's also a set of sort of like there's some injection stuff that's going on here as well. Okay. And to their credit, I mean, Mini Art doesn't provide you with the wires or anything like that, but it does give you some information on how it would go, right? Whereas a lot of manufacturers don't include that kind of detail.
Yeah.
Like the other thing too, I just sent off to AFV Modeler, the magazine guys.
Yeah.
Like the radio, it's got like a power, like I don't know if that's some kind of power unit, and then another kind of power unit over here, and then the radio. I want to somehow be able to, wire that up before. I mean, the funny thing is probably not much of this stuff is going to be seen, like as usual, but it's kind of cool. You can look through the side there and see the radio,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I mean, my hats off to Mini Art. They really those full interior kits are excellent as far as detail. What I've always wondered about with so many pieces going in and everything is fit and engineering and ease of assembly and so on and so on. But apparently, from what both you guys are saying, it's there. It exists. They did their homework.
Yeah. They don't leave anything out of the kits. Every detail is there. It's incredible.
Yeah, this is the box art I did for Dragon back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You did that? That's your drawing?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the one that's at Bovington. Is one of those with the 75 mil.
Oh yeah.
So the Puma is one of my favorite World War II vehicles. It's a sleek combination of armored car and tank. It's just
apparently
so cool.
Somebody was saying it's the basis where, just like jet planes and all that other stuff after the war, the more modern armored cars are based on stuff that the Germans designed in World War II, right? So
probably so, yeah, or there would be an element in there, yeah, definitely. There's a lot of stuff nowadays. A friend of mine told me, he said that a lot of nations are studying it, making it more of a regular thing because they're cheaper to produce than tanks.
Yep, probably.
Yeah, I would guess so. I mean, I don't know what the price tag of an Abrams is, but I'm guessing it's pretty steep.
Jeez, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, but certainly watching all that and seeing all that has got my mojo pumping again.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, you did a great job on the interior on that lead, Peter. That thing is fantastic. It's super. I'm super impressed with the engine, and you got it all in there, and it just looks great. I'm really impressed.
I never thought of the magnet idea because look, I'll show you if I grab this. Here you go. So, whoops. So, with what I'm at the moment, see, that's all closed.
Right.
Because I've got all the tools on it and they cross the panels. So I couldn't have the option of opening. There's 2 panels on there. Well, so the tools sort of have them shut. But So you can't see down under there's the engine.
Right.
You know?
Right.
In there, I've got one door's come off. I'll put the other door on. That's the whole of the engine that you can see. Of all
Yes.
that work I put into it, that's all you're going to see.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but like you've done with the top of this fits really perfectly. I don't even need magnets, and I'm not going to glue that on. So that will be option. I'll be able to take that off.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Peter. Yeah, because you got all that detail and the interiors of those things.
Yeah.
James, do you watch Australian Armor and Artillery Museum channel?
Well, I was just going to mention that.
Yeah. What they're doing now with that grant they're restoring, and that guy, that what's his name, Roy or Wayne? I can't remember who the volunteer is. He's going through that thing with a fine tooth comb.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I've watched a few of those episodes. Yeah. Ray's there.
You know what, guys? It's getting late for me. I got to cut out. I got dinner to make, and I'm going to move on. But James, it was nice. It was nice chatting with you, and I hope we can do it again in the future.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did sort of talk about maybe having our own little live streams, but I don't know if you saw where my email I posted a few times. But
no, I'm sorry, I must have missed it. If you know what,
you can contact me, I think, through my YouTube channel if you want to reach out.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, is there a link in there to get send a message?
I believe there is an email.
Okay.
Or you could in the community section, if I put up a post or something, you can just talk in there maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
But usually there's an about section on the YouTube channel that will put that shows the email there.
I'll look that up. I'm learning my way around the ins and outs of YouTube. A guy I'm partnering with wants to come together with him and myself and his son and make a three-way chat thing on YouTube. He thinks that we could come up with something. So we've been talking for a couple weeks now, or a couple months. Pardon me.
Right on.
Okay, but I'll look that up, James. And thanks a lot. And nice talking to you. And Peter, thanks again for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, anytime. It's all good.
And everyone in the chat, good night, good morning, take care. And I'll be on later with Jason at the Aussie Scale Modeler. And that's going to be 3 a.m. Midwest America time. And I don't know what around the world. So if you want to tune in.
3 a.m. You'll be right.
9 a.m. UK time. That's all I know. Okay, guys. Take care.
All right. See you, mate. See you, Jim.
Bye.
Right. We can click. There he goes. All right. Yeah. Oh boy. So now those tanks are looking really good. That's good. But that other channel is really good to watch. The working on the real tanks there. They're gives me an idea of what I'm working on the model. I'm thinking, well, because like most instructions, they don't tell you what these parts are that you're putting together.
Right.
So, it's like, well, what's that box going down inside where the crew are, or what's this piece going on here? So, watch those channels there, and I go, oh, that's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a few other ones that I watch. Have you ever heard of Mr. Hughes? Hewes?
No, I haven't. That one. No, Mr. Hughes.
Yeah, check it out. Mr. Hughes.
Okay.
He's in England, and he's like this young guy, and he's got a buddy, and they recondition a lot of Centurions. They've got a T-34. They've got a whole thing that's sort of their business, and they sort of like are wrenching on tanks. Yeah.
I'm looking at it now. He's 250,000 subscribers. Wow, look at that.
It's very entertaining too. Like he's funny.
What a chieftain.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's like there's a one when I was building that model of the London bus. There's a guy over in the UK of a channel called Pete and his bus, and he does the real buses. He restores them.
Oh yeah,
and it's quite funny too. He does the whole series in a comedy type of way as well, but it goes into the detail that I found really useful when I was building that bus.
Yeah, there's another one too that I watch. It's similar to that Australian one. It's called the it's called the Ontario Museum Tank Channel. I don't know. Our
Right.
Ontario Regiment Tank Museum or something. It's in Canada, but they
Yeah.
do the same sort of thing where they're like they have some good. I used to look at it for a lot of the Leopard stuff for reference
Yeah.
and stuff because they have a Leopard 1, I think, that they work
Okay.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereabouts are you at?
I'm in sunny, beautiful, temperate Vancouver, British Columbia.
Vancouver. Oh, BC. Okay.
Yeah.
Never got over to that side. That would be
No?
nice. No. I've been up into Quebec and then across to. I did Montreal, Quebec, and I then crossed into Toronto, a place called Sault Ste. Marie.
Right.
Visited some friends, but that's about it. Then headed down into the States.
Yeah, those are Easterners. I don't hang out with Easterners.
No, I understand.
Yeah, no, I do scuba diving here too. It's really good scuba diving. If you're ever here, you should try it. But you need a dry suit.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Right. Yeah, you would. Yeah. I was a big scuba diver.
It's a bit chilly.
Yeah, it would be. I had a semi-dry suit, but I was diving in places like, Asian countries,
Yeah, you were saying
Australia.
like the Red Sea and stuff like that.
Yeah. That was, gosh, you could dive naked in that water. It was like a bath.
Yeah, like Thailand is like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I've done a lot of scuba diving down in the south, like around PP Island and that.
Yeah, beautiful down there. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, although once in a while when I was around the guide, Matt, he would say, do you notice that the water just got a little bit warmer? And I didn't know what the heck he was talking about.
Yeah.
Do you know what that might be?
What, on a dive, you mean? Or the time of the year?
He just made a joke about having a pee.
Oh, right. I see. Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, sometimes it gets a bit chilly in a semi-dry suit. You got to warm up a little bit.
Yeah. There's like
it's not...
two people. There's two types of people with a dry suit, and that's that of those who say they've peed in their dry suit and those who lie that they haven't peed in their dry suit.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
But there are thermal climbs that I've noticed in Thailand too. Like you'll have like warm water, and then for some reason the current's got like the cold water, and it's almost like a vibration of the light. It's
yeah. Oh, you can go through layers that are really distinctive as you go deeper. I think.
Yeah.
Even in the Red Sea, where I was off Israel there and Egypt, it was. I went on some quite deep dives. There's a place called the Blue Hole where people do mixed gas diving and do some serious stuff there. But I went through a place called the Canyon where you drop down to about, I think it's about, are we talking meters now or feet? Gosh, it's been so long. What's the recreational 14 or something feet or meters? It's meters, isn't it? Yeah.
Well,
meters. So, that's right. It is. So I went down to about 30 meters. You drop down into an opening in the ocean floor, and it's into a domed cave. And then to your right, there's a hole in the wall that goes through a tube heading down deeper. And they call it the going through the canyon. So you go down through this thing, and it's just round enough for you and your tank to get through.
Oh, yeah.
So you go down through that, and then you come out at the bottom at about 50 meters.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's quite deep. And then you look up this underground mountainside heading up to the surface in the distance. And then you slowly go up. And then, of course, at that depth, you've got a decompression stop.
Oh, yeah.
Before you break the surface there at about 5 minutes for a while and do all that calculations. I did do a couple of dives with 2 tanks because my BCD was for twin tanks, and nitrox, like mixed gas.
Yep.
So my deepest dive was about 56 meters.
Wow.
So it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, like you're in Thailand right now, and there's no reason why you can't, go down to the south and do a refresher and go out for a couple of days and do some scuba diving, because it'll change your whole outlook. Like, that's one thing I miss. Like, right now I'm not working, so I got to kind of hang on to my money. But whenever I go scuba diving, before I go down, I'm stressed out. I'm worrying about this. I'm, not feeling that great about, whatever's going on. And then when I go down, and then when I come back up, it's like I just feel so good, emotionally, mentally, physically. It's like,
oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's like a therapy.
It is. That's right. Yeah. And I'll probably find out how much better my lung capacity is too, because back when I dived, I also used to smoke cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure my lung capacity would be much, much better too. Like, you know how it is. You've got to stay relaxed down there to make your air supply last as long as possible. We used to do what they call drift dives.
Right.
So you go down when there's a current.
Yep.
And you go down the edge of the reef about, say, 20 meters, 25 meters, and then you would just sit there, equalize, and get your balance just right, and then you just go with the current and drift.
Right.
And you could just sit there and just look along the reef and watch the eels pop out to look at you and enjoy all the life and that. And the longer your better capacity for your lungs is, the less oxygen, more relaxed you are, and you can stay down there for nearly an hour. It's incredible,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I was in the Bahamas in November, and they have a drift dive there called the Washing Machine, and that was pretty cool.
I can imagine what that would be. Yeah. We went down. I think I mentioned it when I was talking about it once, where the current was stronger than we were used to.
Oh, yeah.
And we ended up drifting out into the middle of the Red Sea onto the Israeli side. When we surfaced, we were greeted by a gunship of Israelis who saw our lights under the water and thought we were friggin' Navy SEALs or something,
Oh, you were doing a night dive.
Yeah, we're doing a night dive, and we came up, and then there's a ship sitting there. We saw the hull of it underneath, and we knew it wasn't our dive boat, because otherwise it's grew 10 times. And there's guys up there with guns pointed at us. Oh, you laugh now, but at the time, we pissed our suits then. Oh, fun. I will do that, though. I definitely want to scuba dive, and I will put that on my calendar as a must-do. I'm going down next year to Koh Chang for about 2 months. Up here we have this burning season, and I know that Koh Chang has some diving as well, so I might whip over there, and that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, actually,
like therapy.
The company I go with is out of Ao Nang, and it's called The Dive. Pretty easy to remember. And
Ao Nang,
they're really cool guys. That's in Krabi. It's a nice little town in Krabi, and it's but I heard about Koh Chang from them, that it's actually really good diving. Elephant Island.
That's right, exactly. But diving on wrecks is good too. I don't know if there's any like shipwrecks around in Thailand, but I know in Egypt there was an aircraft carrier that we dived on off a place called Haggadah in the Red Sea. And you go out there by boat, and then you dive down, and you could actually see, there were no aircraft, but you could see all the jeeps on the deck and other stuff around on this giant aircraft down there. But the way it's on the ocean floors, you can only see the bow and to a certain length down because of visibility and the depth. It gets a bit too deep to dive all the way down and around the ship because it's at an angle.
Right.
But quite a sight. There's even a few aircraft you can do dives on as well. So
yeah, there's a few wrecks here in BC. Like been on a few, and they actually sunk a military ship that
Yeah.
you can go out to here.
Right.
But I'm more into the natural life. Like, I'm a photographer when I go down, and I really like finding all the weird nudie branches and stuff like that, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. It's very expensive, the camera equipment, isn't it? Like, that put me off. And I did go diving with one girl once that took a camera down, and the photos she got were just stunning. And it's really great to be able to bring back up and show people what you're seeing down there, because it's so in your face, vibrant, colorful, isn't it? You know, like, and the fish just come right up around you. It's just amazing, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm definitely I'm gonna do that. I will. I'll look into that for
Well,
sure.
if you have any questions, you can just reach out, and if it happens, I can give you more details if you need them.
You know, I think Paddy, I did my diving through, would have
Right.
a record of my license even after so many years
Yeah.
to access, because my actual dive license is stored away back home in Australia. So
Right.
I'm
You mean your
fairly
number?
sure I didn't bring that with me. I might have it, maybe amongst my paperwork and stuff. I can't believe that I wouldn't have bought it here. I mean, just in the off chance I might need it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sure I'll find my license number somewhere, and they could check up and go, oh, yes, you've done Dive Master. You just need to do a refresher and be fine. You know?
Yeah, and you can probably just rent your gear as well. You don't need to buy any.
Yeah. It's not like I want. Well, that might come later, mightn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, fuck,
it's addictive.
it's one of those things that you can do while you're retired. It's like, it could be really, something to do. Get something to, maybe do live aboard.
Yeah. They have those boats going around Indonesia, from island to island, where you can do that. Yeah. Just stay on board the boat for 3 or 4 days and just constantly diving. Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? I met a lot of people that were doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to Egypt without even the thought of scuba diving. You just don't associate the two things together. And I did all, like, the pyramids in Cairo and Alexandria and Luxor and Aswan. I did all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then I just met another backpacker who was on their way to Sinai.
Yeah.
And said, hey, want to go diving? You thought of that?
Yeah. I've heard of it because it's a really good place to go diving with sharks.
Yes. Oh, mate. Oh, unforgettable experiences there. I did about half a dozen shark dives where you jump out of the boat and the instructor would be there and he would say, right, now I want you to clear your goggles, but when you do that, I don't want you to look down in the water. Okay, just don't look down in the water. All right. And everybody stay relaxed. You're perfectly 100% safe. So we did that, and then he gave the signal. We all went down, and then as soon as we broke the surf, came through under the water and looked down, there were all these shadows going around, and there was like a tornado circle of hammerhead sharks. They're all hammerhead sharks.
Wow.
And they were just at a distance going around us. They were used to divers, and we went straight down to the bottom and just sat up and watched hundreds of them. It was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely on my bucket list to see some
my 4
hammerheads.
weeks. My 4 weeks over there turned into just over 2 months.
Oh yeah.
Because I spent a whole month at this dive school doing my dive master and other qualifications. And
I did the pyramids. I went and visited the pyramids, but I never did any diving because I wasn't really into it back then.
Yeah.
But I did read about it once I got into it. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how accessible it would be these days with what's going on over in the Middle East now. I don't know.
Oh, look, I don't think it'd be any problem. I think it's still going on. I could easily check, but I mean, even when I was in Dahab, I could look across the Red Sea into Israel, and I could see the smoke in the skies of all the oil refineries that were being bombed. right? We had United Nations helicopters going up and down the coastline. We could watch them, and occasionally they would come over and come up past the town of Dahab where we all do the scuba diving. So, it was at the time where there were a lot of suicide bombings on buses in Israel and trouble. Even Egyptian had a bit of an issue with Israelis as well. I remember going into restaurants where they'd have a sign on the door saying no dogs or Israelis allowed. But the tourism was thriving and the scuba diving was unaffected. So I don't think it would be any different now. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll have to check it out.
It's a real backpacker scene, that side of things in Egypt. But mainly because it's difficult to get to. You to catch a bus, it's many, like 10-hour overnight bus from Cairo to get there in the first place. Or you can catch ferries, boats across. I don't know. It's not something you just fly in, unless they've built an airport since then. I don't know.
Yeah, I've dove in the Philippines, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Philippines has got an amazing, diving because a lot of the reefs aren't screwed up yet.
Yeah, that's true. I've never been to the Philippines. I've had no interest to go there. I don't see anything that attracts me to go there, other than, now that you bring it up, diving has got a great reputation over there.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I really want to see. Yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna have to go now, and
so what? I'm gonna just talk to myself now, or what?
You're gonna have to talk to yourself, I'm afraid. Yeah. Yeah. I got to have breakfast. My stomach's telling me I need some toast and peanut butter. I bought myself a toaster the other week.
Well, don't you call it kanam ping?
Oh, yeah. I bought one of those. Yeah, I just couldn't pronounce it properly. You got the pronunciation and the tone going real well there.
Kanam ping.
Yeah, that's the sound it makes when it's ready. That bing when the toast pops up. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky. I've got a Thai wife, and I was in Ao Nang, and I went into a place to get a massage after scuba diving, and I looked across the room, and I'm telling you, I believe in love at first sight, because I just fell in love with her when I saw her do something really funny across the room, and we kind of kept in touch, and then we ended up getting married. She's in Canada. She's working, she does Thai massage at a nice place, and she's making as much money as I was making working in the movies.
Oh, mate. Well, look, that's great. I'm on the lookout for one of those moments too. So
yeah. Well, just
I'm not
be
in
careful.
a hurry, but I'm not in a hurry, and I'm not going to fall down the trap many people do fall down. But
yeah. Just hang on to your wallet for a while, right?
Yes, I understand 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got really lucky with my girl. She's just such a good, honest human being, hardworking, head on straight, and she's like 20 years younger than me, so she'll be able to change my diapers when I get older and stuff. So that's
exactly good. That's good. You're all got it all sorted. That's the way. That's what.
Yeah, I mean, we're planning to come over there for Christmas for a couple of months, maybe, and I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll be dropping through Chiang Mai, and maybe I'll drop in and say hello.
Well, definitely, we'll catch up for sure. Yeah.
Right on.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on the stream, and we might do it again. I might put the link out next week and put out that opportunity for people to join again. Thank you, everybody, for everybody in chat that came in. It's getting late in the UK now, so a few people have left. That's fine. And good. Enjoy the rest of your modeling weekend, and Tank. And I'm motivated now. I'm going to get into these tracks and get them done. I'm going to just fly through them.
Well, just put on some good, some good jazz or whatever you like to listen to, and just relax. Don't get stressed.
Yeah, if the sun comes out today, I'll go down and do them on the deck chair by the pool. Why not?
Well,
Be
people
fine.
might look at you sideways if you do that. Like, what a weirdo! But
I don't care what people think. All right.
all right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Catch us all next week.
Sawadee
All
Cup.
right. Bye-bye. Where are we? That one.